You're watching Fox 44 News First at 9 with Travarius Haywood, Kellyanne Biley, Chief Meteorologist Ashley Ruiz, and Sports Director Brian Holland. Fox 44 News, your local news leader.
Well, the House cut its August recess short today to kick off its own infrastructure debate. Lawmakers started poring over the traditional and larger human infrastructure measures, along with the voting rights bill.
Now, while Republicans remain largely united in their opposition, Democrats are still working to be on one accord among their members over the price tag and timelines for the votes on the measure. Washington correspondent Jesse Tenor reports.
We cannot afford to miss this opportunity.
The American people cannot afford this budget.
The partisan split continues over the $3.5 trillion framework for President Biden's human infrastructure plan.
That will lower costs for families, create good-paying jobs, and cut taxes for hardworking Americans.
House Democrats like Congressman Jim McGovern and John Yarmuth argue the country needs paid family and medical leave and to combat climate and housing issues.
All while making our country more competitive in the global marketplace for decades to come.
They want to pay for the plan by raising taxes on the wealthiest Americans. But House Republicans reject that proposal and its price tag.
We cannot inflate our way out of inflation or power an economy on empty promises.
Congressman Jason Smith and Tom Cole also opposed Speaker Pelosi's plan to not vote on the $1 trillion bipartisan infrastructure bill the Senate recently approved without also advancing this human infrastructure legislation.
This type of hostage-taking makes a mockery of the whole legislative process.
Democrats plan to iron out the details by September 15th and can only afford to lose a handful of votes.
Speaker Pelosi has her work cut out for her.
And that's one area where Democrats agree.
We may or may not be able to pass it in the House.
In Washington, I'm Jesse Tenor.
Louisiana Senator Bill Cassidy spoke about the bipartisan infrastructure bill today in his weekly conference call. He says that despite the holdups, enough Democrats could be on board for a standalone vote.
There's 9 Democrats who said that they will not vote for the budget resolution until the infrastructure vote has a standalone vote.
Meanwhile, Representative Garret led the House panel today and says the bill will have the opposite effect on infrastructure than intended.
This legislation includes failed Green New Deal policies that have resulted in the opposite of the intended outcomes, meaning adversely affecting the United States energy security, adversely affecting our national security, driving up, not down prices, driving up, not down global emissions, having an adverse impact on energy, having an adverse impact on the global environment.